kick somebody's ass. I mean, that's why we're here.
That is caught! Left center! Reds win!
And this ball is launched high and very deep to right, long gone. It's second of the night. Ellie De La Cruz.
Short lead for Pena. Larkin drills it. Do you believe this? That's going to be gone! Back to back! Walk-off home runs! How about this? He's back! He's back! He's back!
And a swing and a drive! Deep left field! This one belongs to the Reds! Swung on and hit deep to left field! That ball is going to be gone! Home run! And the Reds put it 5-4!
Goes to second one. Around to first. Got a double play! And the Reds sweep the Cubs. Breaking ball. Hit high. Hit deep. Way back there. And gone! Into the second deck and left. Christian Encarnacion Strand walks it off.
Archer does it! In his major league debut! He gets the final 3 outs, and the Reds get an extra inning win. A thriller 5-4.
Swung on, fly ball, hit to deep right field. That ball is gonna be gone. A grand slam home run by Mike Cameron.
2 outs, 2 on. Reds down by 1. Larkin down the line. This will win it. This will win it. Here comes Tucker. Here comes Steins. Larkin's won the game. Barry Larkin gets mobbed. Look at this scene. It's synergy.
The stretch, the pause and the pitch. And a line drive, base hit left center field. A single for Aaron Boone. And this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won 8 in a row.
Kobayashi with a long look turns it loose and
Dunn hits it to deep right. It's all over. And this one belongs to the Reds. The Reds have won their 5th game in a row. They've defeated the Cleveland Indians on an Adam Dunn 3-run home run, 4-2.
in on the corners at first and third. 2 on, nobody out. Here's Royce Greene pitching, no bunt. Ground ball
By the third baseman into left field. Dave Bruce rounds third. And this one belongs to the Reds.
That's hit pretty good. Guess what? He doesn't need speed. That's gone. He's the king of the Queen City tonight.
with 1 out here in the 11th inning. You sure got to go now.
Swung on, pull down the left field line. That ball is going to get the winning run in. Here comes Dave Bruce rounding third, heading toward the plate. And this one belongs to the Reds.
Huge situation for Votto. Why you paying the big bucks to deliver the goods with 2 outs in the 9th inning? Can he do it? In the gap, right center field, and Votto delivers the goods.
Hit deep center field. Hank Hill going back at the warning track. Oh, it's gone. Joey Votto is delivered.
Hello and welcome to the Chatterbox Reds pregame show. Today is Wednesday, August 13th. The Cincinnati Reds are taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 3 of this series. Looking to go for a series win today. Today I'm joined by Max Alfonso. How you doing today, Max?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. It's a nice day outside. Great weather. Good day for a good Reds win today. Big news of the day, Hunter Greene is back. Green Day is back. I don't know about you, but I liked Green Day back in the day. He is coming back from a groin injury and a back injury that sidelined him since June 3rd. It's been an issue since May 7th, really, when they took him out of that start. Sam Benscooter was optioned to AAA to make room. Hunter Greene allowed 11 runs in 11 innings in his rehab starts. It didn't look great, but his last outing, he only allowed 2 hits. Both hits were home runs, but he had 7 strikeouts and only walked 3. He's facing a Phillies lineup that is ranked 6th in weighted on-base average against right-handers. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to have Hunter Greene back. What are you expecting from Hunter Greene today?
Yeah, I'm very excited that Greene is back. They optioned Ben Scooter like you said. Truthfully, I didn't even know he was like on the major league roster. So I'm surprised he didn't pitch last night. Now that I'm like looking back at it, but sorry, Sam. Enjoy the drive down 71. But I'm very happy that Greene is back. Not really sure what to expect from Greene. Truthfully, I wouldn't be surprised if it's rough. but it is what it is. The Reds are better when Hunter Greene is in the rotation. And with him being back tonight off of injury, the Reds didn't use much of the bullpen last night, so I want them to be very aggressive today with the bullpen. Especially with the off day tomorrow, big series this weekend. Who knows what you're going to do against Milwaukee? We know the history against them. They're on their way to, I think, their 12th win in a row right now against the Pirates. So they're going to come in hot. They're off tomorrow. They'll get into Cincinnati tomorrow. So if Green's struggling in the 4th or 5th, then I'm being very aggressive with how I handle that.
Yeah, the main storyline behind that is he's taking Chase Burns a start today. I think Burns was scheduled to start today. It'd be kind of odd if they used him following Hunter Greene, just because like they're almost like the same pitcher, velocity wise and pitch mix wise. But would you be surprised if maybe if Greene went 80 pitches, maybe 3 innings, and then you bring in somebody like Burns or Suter? Because they haven't really said officially their plan is with Burns, skipping him in the rotation. I know he's not scheduled to pitch this weekend, but I guess we could talk about that more in the bullpen section. But would you be surprised if Burns was to come in following Greene?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be an option today. I think this weekend he could be, especially Friday, with Martinez starting. But I would be shocked to see Chase Burns today.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about this lineup. Notably, Matt McLain gets a day off. They got Santiago Espinal playing. Why don't you run through the lineup and let us know what you see that kind of stands out for you?
Yeah, so Friedel lead off, Steer second. We've seen him hitting second a few games in a row now. Ellie at shortstop hitting third. Andujar has been hot. And then Hayes, Marte, Stevenson back in at catcher. As you mentioned, Espinal at second, Hayes at third, and Greene on the bump. Yeah, no McLain today. It's just continued to be bad for McLain. Even, there are people earlier on Twitter talking about, oh, he's not even getting starts against lefties. Well, that's because his numbers against lefties have been terrible this year. Like, they've been worse against lefties than righties if you go by batting average, and OPS, I guess. But yeah, it just hasn't been good. McLain, he had a nice double yesterday. That was good to see him hit a ball pretty well. But besides that, I mean, there's just been no signs of him coming out of this. The defense has been good, but I wouldn't be surprised if going forward we saw more Espinal at second against left-handed pitching, and then Hayes at third, because his defense is just so good. He's so fun to watch at third. He rocks. But
Yeah.
and I don't like when they take him out of the lineup just because of that. And yeah, I mean, I wonder if they get to the point where they just send McLain down a few weeks until September 1st and they can do a call up. Like Sal Stewart, I'm just gonna keep banging the table for him like I did Monday, and I've been for probably about a week now. Like, he's just been awesome. Like, he's at close to 1 OPS this year. Like, in AAA has continued to rake. He plays second and third, like 2 positions the Reds need some hitting from. Like, yeah, I mean, McLain is hitting 290 in the last 20 games, according to this guy in the chat, but he has no power, like 0 power at all. Like, that's fine. I'm happy he's getting hits, but it still hasn't looked good. Like, do we really need more guys to hit singles?
Yeah, according to Nick Kroll and Tito, we do.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean they do have options at second base even without bringing up Stewart. I would love to see Stewart come up. I just don't think they do until at least September 1st, and maybe not even then. Especially if we're really in a playoff push. But like if McLean's going to struggle that bad, like they've got to do something. I think whether it's put him at the bottom of the lineup, give him more days off, because like Lux can play second base, and you could have Espinal be your second baseman versus lefties, and then Lux be your second baseman versus righties, and take Lux out of the outfield because he hasn't looked great out there either.
Yeah, against righties, if you're not going to come up if you're not going to call up Stewart, then that's totally fine with me. And then you can get Fraley back into the lineup. I feel like we haven't seen Jake Fraley play in a week,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would rather watch Jake Fraley, Gavin Lux, handle second and left than watch McLean do like anything right now. And you can sub him in for defense late in the game. Like his defense has been fine, but
Yeah.
I mean, like in the last 14 days, McLean's hitting 267, but his on base is 286 and his OPS is under 600. Like I don't want that anywhere near the lineup. That's Key Brian Hayes numbers, like without the platinum glove defense.
Yeah, I guess some more notables for the lineup. Ellie's hitting 226 in his last 15 games with a home run. Austin Hayes is batting 127 over his last 15 games with 17 strikeouts and 55 at bats. Steers batting 296 in his last 7 games with 2 home runs, and like Miguel Andujar has been just great since he's been traded here. 381 average, 2 home runs, a 1.262 OPS. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. I'm almost in the camp of putting him in the lineup every day just because we need the pop. And kind of getting back to your point about McLean is if you do option him down, even if you don't bring up Stewart, you can bring up Will Benson. So there's options.
Yeah, and there's been a couple people on Twitter banging the Ryan Valet drum as well, who's crushed it this year in AAA.
Yeah.
So some people are saying why not give him a shot? But in my opinion, if you're gonna call up anyone to play second base, it's Sal Stewart. But I think they're gonna send down McLean now. But I mean, for 2 weeks until September 1st, would it be the worst thing ever? Like, what if Sal Stewart comes up and provides a spark? Like, I would not mind if they did that tomorrow and we had a little bit of juice going into the weekend against Milwaukee to get one more bat in the lineup.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the Phillies. Cristopher Sánchez gets to start today, lefty. 11-3, 2.36 ERA. He's been really good, especially in August. An 0.64 ERA over his last 2 starts. Against right-handed heavy lineups, he has a 1.14 WHIP. So it's going to be a challenge for this lineup. But I think Trace talked about it the other day on the postgame show that this or Nick maybe this lineup versus left-handed pitching might be the best. It probably is the best it's been all season. Adding in Andujar and even to a degree Key Brian Hayes, who hasn't been terribly offensively since he's came here. What are you looking to expect for our lineup against Sánchez today?
Yeah, Sánchez is a ground ball pitcher. He throws 3 pitches: sinker, changeup, slider. They're all pretty great pitches. I mean, it's changeup. Guys are hitting 138 against slider. Guys are hitting 218 against his sinker. Guys, that's the pitch he uses the most. Guys are hitting 302 against, but they don't really hit it in the air that much. Which I guess doesn't really matter because the Reds don't hit the ball in the air. But yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the best lineups we've seen against left-handed pitching. It would be nice if Austin Hayes could get hot again. Someone just said in the chat, Jim, mentioning him as a possible DFA candidate. I could see that. I actually mentioned it on the show Monday. Like, that's something I would consider, but I don't think they will just because they gave Hayes, some 5 million, I think, which is a lot for them. So I don't think they're just going to give up on their biggest free agent investment because they want to make sure that they used all resources to make sure it works out. But I don't think that'll happen. And honestly, I still like Hayes against left-handed pitching. Like, I think he's all over his career. He's always crushed lefties. It's just he's kind of been overexposed against righties, hitting 4th behind Ellie. Like you're in the microscope then when you're hitting behind Ellie. And right now that's Andujar. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good lineup against left-handed pitching. But I mean, Sánchez is like one of the best pitchers in baseball, probably top 5 in the National League. So it'll be a tough task for the Reds today.
Yeah, some notables. Key Brian Hayes is 3 for 8 against Sánchez. Spencer Steers 1 for 5 with a double. Ellie De La Cruz is 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Spencer Steer is 0 for 1 with a walk. Espinal's 2 for 4. Austin Hayes is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And Andujar is 3 for 3. So that's a good sign to see him. It's not a bad, not bad splits against Sanchez for the guys we have starting today.
Yeah, I mean, Andujar has just continued to rake ever since he's been brought over to Cincinnati, and the Reds did just announce that there is a rain delay to start the game, so that is noteworthy for everyone in the chat. If
Breaking
anyone's going
news.
to the Train concert after the game, that'll be pushed back a little bit, I imagine. But yeah, back to Andujar. He's hit the ball really well. It's good to see him in the lineup again. I like him in the lineup when he's DHing. I don't want to see too much of him in the field. He's not, especially in the infield. I don't want to see any of him at third. But yeah, it's good to see Andujar stay in there. I'm curious if we see him against righties in the 4-hole, like if we continue to see him against righties in general, like, if he'll just continue to DH. But I'd rather just see Lux at second against righties. Maybe Andujar DHing and then probably Fraley and left.
Yeah, that seems ideal. I know that with Andujar, his defense has always been kind of a question mark. He didn't look great at first when he played at first base against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But he did have that crushed home run. I mean, it wasn't like distance wise, but that was a frozen rope off the bat, man. He's looked really good since he's came over.
His 2 homers here, I don't think have even been like 20 feet off the ground. They've just been absolutely scalded down the left field line both times, which is fine with me. If it gets out, it gets. I'll take home runs any way we can get them.
I guess we can get into Phillies lineup here. They have Trey Turner leading off, Kyle Schwarber at DH, Harper at first base, Real Muto catching, Castellanos in right field, Brandon Marsh in left, Harrison Bader in center, Stott at second base, and Kemp at third base. Is there anything that stands out for you for the Phillies lineup against us today?
Not really. Castellanos has had a little bit of success against Hunter Greene. He's 4 for 6 with 2 doubles. Bader is homered off of him. Bader's in center today. Turner's had a little bit of success, 5 for 13 with a homer. But it'll just be about Hunter Greene and how he does in his first start back. The Reds just announced that it was a delay, but I would hope that Hunter Greene's known for a little bit longer, so he didn't, can kind of stay in his routine and stuff like that. Maybe they didn't tell Sanchez. Hopefully Sanchez doesn't know yet. He's down there throwing. But yeah, it's a good lineup. So yeah, it'll be a tough task for Hunter Greene.
Yeah, the Castellanos and Bader line kind of worries you a little bit because the 2 hits that Greene did allow in his last rehab start were both home runs. I think it was a 2-run and a 3-run homer. He is kind of prone to the home run ball just because the velocity's there, and when he misses, he usually misses middle. But the Phillies lineup's so good, man. Like you got Turner, who's just speed demon, Schwarber, who just destroys baseballs, Bryce Harper, who's just really good at baseball, and Real Muto's hanging around. He's getting up there in age, and he's still performing as a catcher.
Yeah. So like last week, I was just thinking about the Reds offseason, and Castellanos has 1 year left on his deal. It's like every year the Phillies in the offseason have shopped him to try and get his money off the books because he's getting like $20 million a year. So I was thinking, like, man, what if the Reds just, traded him and had the Phillies just eat the money? But then I looked at his numbers and I was like, yeah, I don't really want Nick Castellanos. Like, he's so bad in right field. He's not really hitting for any power. He just kind of laces singles everywhere, swings at balls. Like I don't think I want to do the Castellanos thing again, but I would love to do the Kyle Schwarber thing.
Oh yeah, but if you want to talk about that, he has kind of hinted a couple times about wanting to play for the hometown team that he grew up in Middletown. That's it's a lot of home runs to add to this lineup. Far more. I think he's got more than like half the team combined. I think if you added up all the numbers, so I mean he'd be a a lovely addition to the lineup. Him or Suarez, if you could get one of those guys in the offseason. Yeah, they're getting older. Suarez is 35, soon to be 36. Schwarber's in his early to mid 30s, I think. It'd be awesome. It's probably gonna take a lot of money, and I just don't think that we'll have. I mean, if we didn't have, let's just say Candelario, if we could have traded him and gotten him off the books, he had not stunk so bad to where we had to DFA him and nobody claimed him. That's $35 million between this year and next year that we could have had available to spend in free agency, and that contract's going to hurt us more than a Moustakas contract did.
Yeah, that's just a brutal contract looking back on it, but things happen. I would like to think that it won't hamper the Reds too much, but maybe this is the offseason where they get aggressive, but we'll see.
Yeah, Sean Connor in the chat said that there's $23 million invested at third base next year between Candelario and Ke'Bryan Hayes. Like that,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I don't see a world where they try for Suarez. There'll probably be rumors, but I don't think there's a world for that just because Hayes is here to play every day. And they're not going to move Suarez to first. So, they could DH him, but
yeah,
if you're signing a DH, I want it to be Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, absolutely.
This lineup could really use a lefty who just crushes the ball and wins someone a Toyota truck if it hits the sign.
Yeah, I don't think the Reds haven't had a 30 home run outfielder since Castellanos. And if you go back before that, it's been since 2012, I think, was the last time.
Bruce was probably the last lefty.
What was his name? Shebler?
All right,
well, he didn't.
Right,
he had that
sure.
1 year, but yes. You have to go. I have to go back.
Who could forget the 2017 Reds? Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the bullpen. Like you talked about it earlier, wanting to be aggressive. I don't know what the rain delay is going to do for Greene, but there is a day off tomorrow. Ashcraft threw 13 pitches yesterday. Mull threw 20 pitches. Suter threw 12. Luis May hasn't pitched since Monday. He threw 19 pitches on Saturday. Pagan last pitch Saturday. Santillan last pitched on Monday and only threw 4 pitches. So what's a aggressive bullpen look like for you tonight? Should Hunter Greene maybe go 4 innings?
So if Greene goes 4 innings, they did go to Suter last night. Did Suter go 1 or 2 last night? Do you remember?
I believe it was just 1. It was only 12 pitches.
Yeah, he went 1 because Barlow, I think, went 1. If you get in the spot where you need some innings, I mean, they'll probably go to May early. Then at that point, May, probably Mull too. Mull didn't throw that much yesterday. I think he'll be available. I think everyone will be available today. I think Barlow will be up. Barlow probably will be in the 5th or 6th if they need him. They seem to like to go to Barlow first, then Ashcraft, then Santillan, then Pagan. So yeah, I don't know how Tito will use it. I feel like Tito kind of surprises me sometimes with his bullpen management, which sometimes I think he just leaves guys out there way too long. But yeah, I don't think we'll see Burns like you mentioned earlier. If Burns was pitching Friday, I think there'd be a chance we'd see Martinez today early. But I mean, ideally, Greene gives you at least 5 innings, and you go from there with probably Barlow, Ashcraft, Santillan, Pagan. But we'll see. I think we'll see one of the lefties, Suter or Mull, today to face Harper or Schwarber or someone in that lineup.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ashcraft still pitches. I don't think he's gone back-to-back games many times this season, but he did only throw 13 pitches yesterday. And it was kind of weird. He was announced as the reliever as the rain delay was announced, and then so I guess he technically didn't get as much warm-up as he could have had they announced it after he got to the mound, I guess. But yeah, I think they're going to be aggressive. Hopefully, it's not a terrible outing from Greene. Hopefully he has, a a decent start. Hope probably around 80 pitches, I would think. Seems to be like their go-to number for a first time out with injury. Hopefully he just gets through the start no matter how many innings he goes and he's healthy. That's really my only main concern is whether it's 3 innings or 7. Hopefully he's just healthy when he comes out and we're not having question marks about the next start when he's scheduled to come around.
Yeah, I was surprised today that they optioned Ben Scooter. Well, actually, I wasn't because I didn't know he was on the team. But like looking back, I'm surprised they optioned him and not May, just because Ben Scooter's more of a he's been a starter in his career and like can throw like multiple innings if needed. So I'm a little surprised it was him and not May, but we'll see. Hopefully, Greene just gives us 5 and we don't have to worry about someone going too long.
Yeah, especially being in the middle of a playoff push here. Why don't you run us through the NL Central rundown, and then I think I threw in some wild card numbers in there too.
Yeah, so the Brewers right now are 75 and 44. Pulling it up right now, they are up 8-5 on the Pirates. So they'll get another win to that. The Cubs are 67 and 51. And then the Reds are in third, 13 back. They will not catch the Brewers. Breaking news. 2 back in the wild card though. And then the Cardinals 61 and 60. They're playing the Rockies right now. They're up 5-4 in the 9th, actually. And then Pirates rounded out at 51 and 70, 25 back. Dodgers and Giants right now are tied for the first wild card spot. I watched the Dodgers Angels end of that game last night. That was a pretty wild game. They've gotten killed this year by the Angels. I don't think they've won a single game against the Angels this year. So now they're tied with the Padres in the lead of the NL West. Mets continue to struggle, but they did win last night, and they face Carlos Carrasco tonight, pitching for the Braves. So that I would expect that to be a win. And then after the Reds, who are 2 back in the wild card, trailing them is the Cardinals at 4 back, and then the Giants at 5.5 back. And then the Diamondbacks at 6.5 back. I'm not really too worried about those teams catching us, at least right now. You never know with the Cardinals devil magic, but I don't think the Cardinals are like good this year. They lost to Colorado last night, even though we did lose to Colorado too. But you get my point.
Yeah, I know Trace pointed out the other day they were 24 and 4 over their last 28 games up until a couple of days ago. I think it's even more now. I think it's like 26 and 4 over their last 30 games. Like that's an unprecedented run. And you see the memes on Twitter where it's like the Brewers have to be cheating. The Brewers have to be cheating. Just they lit up Paul Skeens yesterday. I don't know what it is about the Brewers, man. They just trade away their best players and just seemingly just go on a run. And I don't know how they do it. It can't be just managing because they lost their manager last year and then
they got better.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I am not even going to pretend to know how to describe the Brewers organization, but they win, so I'm a little jealous.
All right, so that's going to take us to a what to watch for. My what to watch for is I think we talked about a little bit with the strikeouts. The strikeout line for Sanchez is -5.5. I think a lot of people are taking the over on that. The Reds do have one of the worst rated strikeout ratings versus left-handed pitching over their last 30 games, but I wouldn't be shocked. They do have a different their lineup's better than what they've had over the last 30 games compared to the last, I don't know, 10 games with the addition of Andujar and Ke'Bryan Hayes. I don't think that those guys strike out as much. It's a whole lot better than having Connor Joe and Garrett Hampson out there. So yeah, I'm looking out for how we do against the lefty because I do think that our lineup is better versus lefties than what it has been.
Yeah, I think today the Reds are going to need a big hit preferably homer, in my opinion, from at least one of Hayes, Marte, or Stevenson. Like I think the 5, 6, 7 is a very important part of the lineup today because those are some names there who can homer. But Hayes struggled. Marte's been pretty good, but Stevenson kind of hasn't really been hitting for power. So it'd be nice if one of those guys could provide some instant offense today because everyone knows the Reds need offense.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have a prediction here. I think our guy John Santiago Espinal gets his first home run of the season tonight. I feel it. I think today's the day. It has to happen. I'm putting it in the air. Santiago Espinal gets a home run today.
Yeah, I know John was mad at me the other day because I said they should send Espinal down. I don't know if John's been watching this whole time, but I took that back and said they should send McLean down. So I hope me and John are good now.
Yeah, Espinal is such a it's a weird thing with him. He played every day for a while and was struggling when they could have had other options. He does put the bat on the ball. He does work the count. He's kind of like a right-handed Lux in a way. Really good defender, but his numbers are down this year compared to what they have been. And John does confirm you guys are good. So
huge. Now I can sleep tonight. But yeah, Espinal's really only been slapping singles this year. Last year he weirdly got into a little bit of power.
Career high home runs last year.
Yeah, hang the banner, Santiago. But I don't want to see. Here's my thing with Espinal. I don't want to see him at first base at all. We put him as a defensive replacement there on sometime, I think it was Saturday.
Yeah.
And we had Steer on the bench, and Espinal hasn't played first before the season, so that was just bizarre. So if we could just keep Espinal on the left side of the infield or second, short, or third, let's just keep him there, and I'm fine with him playing a couple of days a week.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be the way to go because even John says he's not an everyday guy. So I agree with that. Espinal, if you can get Espinal in, short punches, he can be a really effective player. You just don't want to see him every day.
Yeah, I mean, as John said, he's a good utility player, never complains. So, maybe John knows more than me. Maybe he does complain, and we just don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, like the stream, subscribe to Chatterbox on YouTube. Trace and Nick tonight on the post-game show. Go give them some love. Hopefully it's after a Reds series win and a dub tonight. If I don't have anything, have you got anything else for tonight, Max?
Nope. The Reds need to win 2 back of the Mets, who play tomorrow, and we have an off day. So if we win, that's what we need, is a win.
All right, let's hope for a win and go Reds.